This is Harness Elite Daily. Your edge in all of today's harness racing action. Let's get into it.
Okay, welcome to Harness Elite Daily. I'm JB. Today's May 16th. It's a big Saturday of racing action. Of course, the Preakness is today, this evening, if you're into that and thoroughbred racing. It's a huge harness day for all of us harness bettors. There's over, I think, around 250 races today. So there are most of the tracks that are running right now. All of them that are running right now are in play. So lots of action on the harness side. Today. So Buffalo, Charlottetown, Century, First Tracks, Cumberland, Flameborough, Hoosier, Meadowlands, the Meadows, Northside Downs, up in the Maritimes. Oak Grove, of course, has their monster big card with their Grand Circuit races. Pocono, Plain Ridge, Rosecroft, Scioto, Saratoga, Tioga, Vernon, Woodbine, Shenandoah, Yonkers, and Northfield. So just absolute ton of racing today. I won't do the normal card breakdown just to keep things brief, but so we've got a couple things on tap here today. I'm going to recap yesterday real quick, our picks both in harness and in MLB. We talked briefly about the Oak Grove card and the analysis that we've done, and we'll post in the show notes and on the blog. Talk about the big carryovers and guaranteed pools today, and then we're going to fly through some diamonds and dogs and some sports picks. So we'll try to keep this in brief, and again, you don't have to take notes. Everything will be in the show notes and on the blog. Okay, so in terms of yesterday, we had a pretty okay day in harness. We won 5 of the 9 picks. We were close on a bunch of the other ones. We turned a half unit of profit, which was great. 7 of the 9 horses came in second, and I mean, a couple of them lost just by a nose. All of them hit the board, so we were spot on with these picks. They weren't all chalk. That's why we're able to turn a profit. So that's pretty good. This list is going really, really well. And again, each day we go over the top computer generated, so this is what our algorithm here at Harness Elite says, or the best, the horses most likely to win today, and we'll do it again for today's races as well. Okay, in MLB we basically pushed. We had 2 totals bets, 1 over, 1 under. With the one the 1 under bet we just barely squeaked by. In one, it was under 11.5 with the Rockies, and there were 7 runs in the first inning. So it was a miracle we won that one. And of course, we chose the over on the Rangers game, and there was like 1 run in the whole game. So, that's how MLB is. But we got to grind it out. We'll take a push, or we just lost the juice, a tenth of a unit yesterday. So in both harness and MLB. Overall, we're up, so we're making money. Okay, so let's keep going. In terms of today's high-value exotics, this is our tool Value Finder on harnesselite.com. It does an analysis of the exotic wagers that are most likely to yield an above-average payout. Okay, so it's super accurate. It's still possible you don't get a great payout, right? I mean, you never know. Favorites could hit every leg. There's a percentage chance of that. That can always happen, but these are the ones that the computer says, you play these good ones over and over in time, you're going to get above average payouts when you hit. Okay, so that's Scioto, the pick 3 that starts in race 5. Woodbine's a couple of exotics, and Woodbine's got a great card tonight. Of course, Bojangles is running, and a lot of really great horses. I really got sucked in looking at that card as well. But Woodbine, pick 3, starting in race 9. The computer really liked that as a high-value sequence. Same as the pick 3 starting in race 10. the pick 4 starting in race 9, and then a couple other ones at some minor tracks. Rosecroft, a pick 3 starting in the 8th race. Buffalo, a pick 4 starting in the 7th race. So those are the top 6 in terms of high value sequences that we think are worth getting involved in if you want an above average payout. The other place to look for above average payouts are in the sort of guaranteed pools, and I'm sure there are more of them. I don't have all of them today, but the big heavy hitters, of course, are the Meadowlands, the pick 4 in race 6 with a guaranteed 50,000 starting in race 6. Meadowlands pick 4 starting in race 10, guaranteed 50,000. Oak Grove's pick 4, which we talked about the other day, that starts in race 11 and includes their 2 big races. That has a $20,000 guarantee pool, and I think, as I said the other day, I think it's critical that horse players support everything that Oak Grove is doing. Let's show Churchill Downs, Twin Spires, how serious we are as harness bettors. They've stepped to the plate with this $20,000 guarantee, and the racing at Oak Grove has just been great, and we really need to support that card. Of course, we need to support every track, but that card especially today. Of course, the standard high fives, Northfield's 10,000 in the super high five in the 13th race, Harrah's super high five in the 14th race for 10,000 guaranteed. Okay, so those are the big wagering opportunities. Again, they'll be in the show notes and on harnesselite.com. So if you need that information, that's where you can get that as well. Oak Grove, it's a great card. I mentioned it already today. Here we go in terms of the rapid fire picks. The first horse I give is the one that I think is the most likely winner. If I give a second one, that is a contender. If I give a third and fourth one, it means in my mind, it's a spread race, having handicapped this. I'm going to take a few positions and try to make some money with these. Hopefully not all of them are the favorites, but I do think the card at Oak Grove today does look chalky in places, right? There's a few races I think that are big spread races, but mostly chalky to me. These are really high quality horses running that can dominate, and that's why it looks chalky. Okay, so Oak Grove, first race. I really like Go Dog Go, driven by Todd McCarthy. The computer algorithm really agrees that this has a very high percentage chance of winning. And the second choice here that I put down was the 7 Gimpanzee Dancer, driven by Andrew McCarthy. Of course, a minor post position advantage, I think, to the 4 here, and the 4 gets points for recent form and some reasons to believe a better performance is ahead. Second race, Oak Grove second race. This is a trotting race. It's a pace. I don't think this race is super competitive either. It looks to me like the one higher ground, Dexter Dunn, is the way to go with this. Just dominant type numbers. I did put down a second pick, the 5 Harrisburg Heist, driven by Ronnie Wren. I think that's an alternative, and the only alternative to me that looks like it could possibly get it done if there was a problem with the 1 or something happened. Okay, race 3. I liked the 6 Duration, driven by Andrew McCarthy. I thought the primary reason driving this one, I think, is the line is wrong. 10-1 isn't right here. I think this horse belongs more at 4-1 or 3-1. I do think overall, recent form and speed question marks have contributed to that line, but the horse could rebound and win. So that's my first pick, but I do think the slight nod or slightly more likely winner is the 3, driven by Jason Bartlett, who from a post in recent form and speed position is all systems go. There are other horses in here too that I do really like. I think the 1 and the 2, if you really want to spread as well. But I kept it narrow, 6 and 3. But I'll put down in the show notes. Think about the 1 and the 2 as well. We know the 1 will get bet down as well because of the Dexter Dunn factor. But it is improving. The speed is there, and the computer flagged him as a clear third choice. That's the 1. Okay. Fourth race. It's a trot. This one's a little bit more competitive than some of the other ones today. I like the 7, driven by Dexter Dunn, Global Sensation. Everything looks right with this one. He ran last 8 days ago, which is a little a nod of a little bit of a nod over the rest of the field. I also like the 5 Yo Sheldon and the 1 Ronnie Wren, Big Shoes, driven by Ronnie Wren. So that's race 4. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure I get that right. Okay, race 5. It's a trot. This one's a little bit less competitive, and the purses for some of these races are incredible, by the way. Okay, so race 5. I liked the 1 Bratitude, driven by Dexter Dunn. This is definitely a competitive race. Scott Zeron on the 4 Clemency. That looks pretty good too. So does the 6 Fox Valley Gimlet. This is an interesting race for a lot of different reasons, but I think overall the most likely winner is the morning line favorite, Bratitude, driven by Dexter Dunn. Okay, race 6. Here, a couple of picks for you. One was the 8 Handsome Stranger. There's some recent form questions. The post is not ideal. I don't think you could look at the horse and say, oh, he's moving in the right direction. So maybe we get some value on that. I paired him up, though, with the 4, driven by Dexter Dunn, who also, I don't think it's, maybe not looking super great, but some reason to believe he's going to improve. And then Lafitte, driven by Jason Bartlett. I do think this race is sneaky competitive, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 5 was up there. The 1, if he was fit, which is a little bit of a question mark because we haven't seen him. Okay, race 7. This is an 11-race card. The 5 Big Ranger, driven by Ronnie Gillespie. This is one of the stronger bets of the day across all harness racing. This was flagged really as something that the algorithm liked. I don't think we'll get value because he is the morning line favorite, but I do think he's the likely winner. Race 9 has the horse, the 7 Yo Tilly. We've been following Yo Tilly at Oak Grove since she showed up there, and I mean she's just dominating and winning easily. I'm not concerned in the slightest about the post. I think the 6-5 morning line is spot on. I think this horse will be short, super short. So a great bet here. Also another one that was in the top 10, I believe, today in terms of most likely winners across all harness racing. That's pretty elite company today too, right? Like Bojangles, of course, is on that list, etc. Okay, race 9, the 3 Wish Upon a Star Deo. A clear preference for this one as well, is moving in the right direction. Speedy, gets Jason Bartlett. A good post position, and no real concern here. A lot of the horses, though, are like lightly raced improvers on the season, and I mean anything could happen here with this race. But again, algorithm likes the 3. Okay, into some of the bigger races here. It's a super competitive race in race 10. This is maybe the most competitive harness race that I've ever seen, actually. It has a competitive score from our algorithm of 94. I do think the top most likely winner is the Dexter Dunn horse, who is a 3-1 on the morning line. This is Set Your Sights High, so he could get bet down and he could win, and you'd say, well, this race really wasn't that competitive. But the underlying metrics for most of these horses are they're moving in the right direction. We don't know how good they are. They're very fast. They've done when and where they've raced, they've done really well. So this is a really competitive heat here, and if you're involved in that, pick 4 for this race and the next race. I definitely think you need to do some serious spreading and think about beating some of the favorites. The morning line for both the 10th race and the 11th race is pretty spot on, right? Like, so in the 8th race, the morning line favorite is the 8. The second choice in the morning line is the 1. The computer agrees. Those are the top 2 choices. I think to get equity and value in this sequence, you're going to have to beat one of those. You're going to have to beat both of those. And I think there are some choices there. I mean, there's not really enough information to project the pace here, what's going to happen. So this race is kind of like the Wild West with really great horses. So again, equity demands that if you're going to spread, look beyond the 8 and the 1. Certainly, if I had to do that, I would then go to the 3 and the 6. Would be my next choices as well. So big time spread race. Good luck with this. I hope you play the pick 4. I'm going to play the pick 4. I'm going to use 2 singles into the pick 4. So in the 8th race, the 7, the 9th race, the 3, and then I'm going to spread like hell on the 10th and 11th race and really, really hope for an absolute bomb. And so when I spread in these super spread races, and the computer agrees that both of them are extreme spread races, the 10th and the 11th race, I'm going to pick at least 5 horses, and 2 of them are going to be absolute bombs. I'm going, bombs away, bomb squad kind of shit. So looking for the bombs. All right, race 11. I think the morning line favorite here is Strong, Spencer Hanover, driven by Jason Bartlett. I think it's a great bet. But just like the other race, all of these horses are moving in the right direction. Because to get into this race, it has to be the case. So they're all very tightly bunched and subject to improvement. I think the betting will be a guide, and that the horses that get bet down, yes, they're definitely the most likely winner. But these purses are so big that these drivers, they didn't show up in Oak Grove, Kentucky to go home with no money, right, or with a 6th place, right? They're in it to win it, and it's like they're all driving Ferraris around the track. So I think they're gonna go all in, right? I mean, these races don't come around every day, right? I think the purse for this 11th race is like $450,000. So it's big time cash. So again, I think, as we all know, as professional, serious harness bettors or professionals, that when the purse goes up and it's a trot race and the horses are young, the finishes can be wild, right? Like the outcomes can be wild. Everybody's going to be trying to win, and that accelerates the likelihood of a sort of wild pace collapse. And the field, the fields are so competitive that anybody can get in it and win. Right, so it's like, to win this race, you need either a masterful drive or you need to get really lucky. Anyway, so that's how I see the Oak Grove card today. I mean, really good luck. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be fabulous racing. Okay. Now, all right, so Diamond and Dogs is our segment where we take the top bets of the day that are computer handicapped. I'm going to fly through these just because we've already sort of gone to time, but those today include Woodbine Race 8, Strobe Light, and again, you can see in the notes everything that we like about this, but it's the second start of the year, no fitness concerns, best horse, does break 10% of the time. Okay, up in Canada, Northside Downs Race 6, number 3, Mapo's Lions. There's a little bit of a question mark with the fitness, first start of the season. Projected to make the lead, but this horse has a really excellent chance to win. And remember, if you're betting Northside Downs and you're in the U.S., the only place I believe that you can do it is Naira or Caesar Bets. Woodstock, which I believe they're at the end of their spring season, race 5, number 1, Cherry's Girl. It's a second start trot. It's a big dominant horse, and would really be surprised if this one loses. I think it only can lose if it goes off stride. Scioto 9, number 8, Swelsey, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, gets Lasix, dominant speed with a limited post. There's 2 contenders in here, so we could get some value. Those are the top ones. I'm going to post the whole list, though, in the show notes. I mean, Oak Grove Race 8, Yo Tilly's on it, Bojangles is on it, which I believe is in Woodbine Races. Bojangles, I think it's the 7th race. I don't remember what race Bojangles is in, but he's on the list, and a few others. So those are the Diamonds and Dogs for today. And when we keep track of the results for Diamonds and Dogs, again, on the website we link to the tracker page. There's a whole bunch more today, right? There's like 10 or 11 of them. Some days there's only 3 or 4. Yesterday I think there was, 9. So today I think it's like 15. But we'll put them all on the page. and you can decide if you want to play them or fade them, or what is a fair price. They're winning at a good clip so far. Some of them are very obvious. The ones that are not obvious are just excellent bets. Okay, so let's see. MLB, real quick, and I'll put all the rationale up on the website in the show notes for these. Cardinals versus the Royals. Today we like the Cardinals on the money line. You should get minus 112 for that. I also like the under 9. Diamondbacks versus the Rockies. I like the over today. Yesterday we liked the under. Today I like the over. Both starting pitchers are just allowing a ton of contact. Nationals versus the Orioles. I like the Nationals on the money line, and I like the under for that, under 10. Reds versus the Guardians. I like the under 8.5. I mean, the Reds bullpen is terrible, but these teams are offensively limited. I think offensively limited, so it sort of negates the bullpen concerns, especially the Reds on the road. Yuck. Brewers versus the Twins. I like the Brewers on the money line, and I like the under 8.5 on that as well. Padres versus the Mariners. I like the under. The Padres offense has been ice cold lately, I think, as everyone knows, and the bullpens are both elite, sort of top level stuff. And I think that starting pitcher Buehler has been better than he looks to. Okay, Dodgers Angels. I like the under 8.5 here. The Angels offense has been terrible at home. Athletics versus the Giants. I like the Athletics on the money line, and I like the under 10. A lot of these picks are pitching metrics based, so good luck with these. I've been gambling professionally on baseball for over a decade, so you're in good hands with these. We won't get killed, and we should win at a clip of 55 or so percent over the long haul on spread and money line bets. Okay, so those are the baseball picks. Good luck today with all your gambling. Good luck with the Preakness, and thanks for tuning in.
You've been listening to Harness Elite Daily. Harness Elite Daily. Your edge in today's harness racing action. For all of today's free and premium content, insights, and picks, head to harnesselite.com.